Big LEZ'S League, an all rugby league experience.
Hello, welcome back to Big LEZ'S League, an all rugby league experience. I'm your host, Big Les. Let's talk about your games of footy today. The Seagulls and the Sharks, the Knights and the Dolphins. Knights and Dolphins fighting for a spot in the 8. Sharks and Manly fighting for good draws going into week 1 of the finals. Let's talk about Manly and the Sharkies first. A big game for Manly, especially without Tom Trbojevic and Jason Saab. Jason Saab, a strike weapon there on the right edge. Tom Trbojevic, he has been outstanding for them this season when he's been in the side. Another injury sees him sitting out for at least a week. It looks like it's an AC joint injury, so I don't know how long he is going to last playing with that, depending on the extent of that AC. They reckon it's not too bad. He can just chuck some painkillers in there and keep going, but how long is Tom Trbojevic realistically going to last with that AC joint injury? We'll have to wait and see. That is 2 players now in this final series in competing sides with shoulder injuries. Obviously, Tom Trbojevic, but also Nathan Cleary. Both of these guys are battling these sorts of injuries. Nathan Cleary's had a little bit more time off to recover. Tom Trbojevic is only going to get the 1 week, so we'll have to wait and see how he goes. But he is out this week. Tolu Kula goes to fullback. Very unexpected. We all thought that Leo Hobawado was going to get that opportunity, but I guess Seabold doesn't really like changing his starting outfit too much. He wants to keep that back line consistent. However, there is a change here going into this week with Clayton Flalalo coming into the side on the wing on that right side. He was outstanding last time he came into the team, and if you watch the trials, you know that this guy is an absolute weapon of mass destruction. He can do a lot of great things with the ball. He's a great mover. He's really good in the air. Definitely going to be one to watch again today in his second game, I believe, of NRL football. Super excited to see what he has to offer. You'd think when Turbo comes back that Cooler would go to the wing. I think that he's got to play wing for the rest of the year. I know that Saab is out for the rest of the year, obviously with a syndesmosis. So I'd be playing Cooler on the wing. I think that he's played his best footy on the wing this year. And I think that he just hasn't been that convincing in centre this year. He's had a pretty up and down year. I think just simplifying his role a little bit, getting him on the wing, I think that's going to be the best thing for him going into this final series. He's definitely talented enough to be in this first grade side. So keeping him in there, but also just simplifying his role, I think is going to be great. Talking about simplifying roles, it's not too simple there at fullback. We'll have to wait and see how he goes. Obviously, you could have moved Garrick, you could have moved Leo Bawade, but Cooler is the guy to get that jersey, and I think he's really going to come out and make a statement in this game as to why he should be a first grader. Matt Lodge, rumours going around that he's going to be signing with Newcastle for next year. Nothing of that yet. Obviously, we haven't heard anything too loud in terms of him going there, but I have heard whispers that Newcastle might be a landing spot for Matt Lodge, so definitely one to keep an eye on. He starts in the front row today with Taniela Paseka, with little Croker at 9 again this week. Carl Lawton starts in the back row as he did last week. Ben Trbojevic, he rejoins the bench. Toe Sipley returns into this team via the reserves. Let's see if he comes back into this side, for one of these forwards. Not sure as to who that's going to be, but we'll find out before kickoff. As for the Sharkies going into this game, Braden Hamlin-Uele, he drops out of the side. Sam Stonestreet also drops out of the team as well. We do see Jesse Ramian and Ronaldo Mulatalo return into the back line. We see Cesar Vitalica return as well via the reserves. I imagine he'll come in before kickoff. He returns as well. We also see Jaden Beryl coming into the rotation as well as the 18th man. We'll have to wait and see if he remains 18th man by kickoff. Other than that, no other changes here for the Sharkies. Oh, well, they've actually named Nico Hines at halfback with Trindle at 5'8". We'll have to wait and see how this halves pairing goes. Look, it actually worked well last week with Hines playing more of a 6 role. Came in, played off the back of what Trindle was doing, got used to it by around the 30-minute mark and played some decent football. But in terms of Hines being at 7 and being the head maestro with Trindle at 6, it hasn't worked in the past, and it is a big risk to take going into finals. We'll have to wait and see how that goes there for the Sharkies. For me, I think that without Turbo, the Sharks are a big chance in this game. I'm probably going to go the way of the Sharkies in this one. Am I, though? a tough one. It's a real tough one because without Turbo, I just don't know how pungent the Manly Seagulls are going to be. I really am undecided on this one. It's probably one of the tougher ones to pick of the week, and I am going to go ahead and stick strong. I'm going to stay with the Sharkies. I think they get control of everything. I think that Hines goes well. I think that Trindle will start to play off the back of Hines a little bit more, or maybe vice versa. I'm going to take the Sharkies in this one to get the job done. Sharkies still win as the $2 underdogs. In terms of who I think is going to score a try in this one, I'm going to take... I'm going to go Ruben Garrick to score. I'm also going to go with... Who else? I'm going to go with Britton Nickera. Britton Nickera, Ruben Garrick with the Sharkies to win. All of the odds will be on the Instagram. Knights v Dolphins, the top 8 clash. Whoever wins this game will be in the 8. It will take 8th spot too going into week 1 of the final. So the stakes are high in the last game of the round. They've really worked this one out well. Knights v Dolphins. Knights are the favourites here at $1.70 with the Dolphins $2.15. In terms of the changes, Tyson Gamble and Tyson Frizzell both come back into the rotation. Tyson Gamble in the 14 jersey with Tyson Frizzell back in that right back row spot. As for the Dolphins, we see Lachlan Hubner drop out of the rotation with Cody Nikorima coming back into the rotation, coming back into the fold via the bench. We also see Jesse Bromwich come back into the side in the starting front row. In terms of how I think this game is going to unfold, I think that the Dolphins will get the job done here. Just with the flashy football that they've played, they've really seemed to get teams on the back foot. I think this is going to be one of the tighter games of the year. I almost think this one will go to Golden Point. I know a lot of people think it's just going to go one way or the other. I do think this game could go to Golden Point. I think that both of these sides have a lot to offer. When KP gets the ball in his hands, we know how dangerous the Knights can be. I think that this one is going to go down to the wire. I think that the centre battle is going to be absolutely off its head. Dane Gagai v Herbie Farnworth. Bradman Best taking on Hamiso Tabuai Fado. Bit of an origin battle there as well. This is going to be really down to the wire. This is going to be off its head. The only thing... not really even at all. You got Crossland going up against Sean O'Sullivan. I was going to say the halves battle is going to be interesting, but it's Crossland up against Sean O'Sullivan. Averillo up against Cogger. Averillo with more of a running temperament to him, with Cogger, more of a half. Crossland has played hooker all year, and then you've obviously got Sean O'Sullivan, who's been quite good when he's come into the team as well. So I think this halves battle will be interesting. I think it's going to be a lot more even than what I thought it was going to be. Isaac Katoa dropping out of the rotation here in jersey number 19. I suspect that he will come into the side. This is my little prediction here. I think Averillo will go onto the bench. I think that Sean O'Sullivan will move to 6. We'll see Katoa go back into the number 7. Plath will go to 13. Bromwich to the bench. And I think that Jeremy Marshall-King will go into that number 9 role. And I think Cody Nikorima, he's a chance of playing hooker off the bench. I could even see Cody Nikorima starting at 6 with Sean O'Sullivan coming off the bench like he has at stages this year. I think that Wayne Bennett's not done with his fun and games. I think that he will make a late change before kickoff. If he doesn't, look, I think that Newcastle have a real advantage there. I think that Isaiah Katoa needs to come back into this side. You look at how good he's been all year. You look at, his kicking game, his temperament all year. How he's grown as a 20-year-old half and what he's been able to do, to the point where he was in the top 5 for the Dally M's at the start of the season. I think that you've got to have him back in the team. I think it worked well last week, just with the style of play versus the Broncos, to not have him in there, to have a bit more of a flashy halves pairing, but I think you've got to have Isaiah Katoa back in, especially heading into finals. He's been your guy all year. I don't understand what's happened in the last few weeks where he isn't the guy, if that is the case. But yeah, I think that he will come back into the team. I think there will be that late change there. As I said, Nikorima to 6. I think that Isaiah Katoa will go to 7. I think that Sean O'Sullivan will drop back down to the bench. So will Averillo. They'll run with the 2 utilities like they've got here currently on the bench. I think that Marshall King will go then into the number 9 with Max Plath going to 13 and Bromwich to the bench. That eliminates the 2 utilities there off the bench. And then, was there any other changes that I was thinking of? That will probably be it. That'll probably be it. I think that those will be the changes that are made for the Dolphins before kickoff. If not, then I'm wrong, obviously, but we'll have to wait and see what Wayne's got cooking up there in his mind. I am going to go ahead and take the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins get the job done. A bit of a rogue one, taking the two underdogs on your Sunday, but that's the way that I'm going to be going. In terms of my try scorers, I am going to be taking Dane Gagai, and then I'm also going to be taking Herbie Farnworth. I think this battle is going to be one of the more interesting battles of the day. And I think that both of these guys get over the line. Dane Gagai, Herbie Farnworth, Dolphins to win, odds on the Instagram. And remember, what are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
That's full time. See you in the next one.